Hi there, it's me again, Daniel Olayowaju. So, in the previous video, we talked about some things in the previous video, and we stopped at configuration. So, I'm going to start from configuration, right from the library manager. Alright, so the library configuration can be found in these three dots above on the right top corner, right where the arrow is. Click on it, go into the configuration, then the library manager. So upon getting to the library manager, we have app compact and design, we have Firebase, we have Google AdMob, and we have Google Map. So I'm going to be explaining better this time. So when you want to create a complex design, or you want to use a material design, or whatever design you want to use on your application, you need to go to the app compact. So you need to enable it so as to use material designs on your application. So you need to read everything here so you can understand it better. So now we'll be moving on to the next one, which is Firebase. Firebase is actually a database provided by Google. It's a platform provided by Google, which you will need you need to add your application. You create an account, you add your application. I'll be making a video tutorial on this Firebase, so you guys can know it's better. So to enable it, we need to go to the settings up there, in which we will add our right top corner, which we will add our Firebase URL, our app ID, our API key. API key is important, app ID is important, so while the URL to the database is important. So I'm going to click on the next in the top right corner there. You click on next. So in the next screen, you will be taken to where you add your URL, your storage URL. Yeah, I know you're confused, but I'll create a YouTube video on this Firebase. With Firebase, you can create an authentication on your application, which will actually require user to sign up or log in into your application before they access the application, whatever you want to whatever the application entails. So moving on to our Google AdMob. Google AdMob enables you to monetize your application. It's a service provided by Google to monetize your application by just adding your ads ID, unit ID, and you place your advertisement on your application where it's comfortable, so you can earn with your application. So moving on, we have Google Map. Google Map enables you to get the user location, the current user location of your application. So it tells you where the user is, your location of the user. You can use it for a purpose or the other. Alright, so moving on, we have the view. Like I told you earlier yesterday, that you can create a view, which is an activity. I will call it a view, a page, or an activity. So let me use the term activity from now on. So you can create the naming. That's where the name is going to be. So we have status bar, we have toolbar, we have drawer, we have fab. So what toolbar means is actually what you are seeing in the diagram there. So as the drawer you slide from the left, or you slide from the left. You can also change the position whenever you want to change it. We have the fab, the floating action button, like the one you are seeing in the background down there, the one you click to create a new activity. Yes, right there. So we have types of pages within which I would say. So we have activity page, we have fragment page, we have dialogue fragment. As time goes on, when I start creating types of pages, I'll explain better on the types of pages we have that we can create or use. So moving on, we have screen orientation. So we have screen orientation, we have portrait, we have landscape, we have both. So talking about portrait is the type of video you are watching right now is a portrait video, and landscape is the one you use probably for games like COD or Free Fire that we all play. So we can set it to both if we want our application to change orientation. So beneath it we have keyboard settings. We can actually set it to unspecified if we don't know, maybe we are going to allow keyboard to be visible on our activity, or we can just set it to visible or hidden, where we can change this programmatically from the component block in the logic screen. So moving on, we have a custom view. Like custom view, we can use it to create a layout which we don't want to recreate. Let me use it that way. You don't want to recreate into a list or a new view or activity. Right, so moving on, we have image. Yeah, like I explained earlier, we can import images through the fab down there, the floating action bar button down there. We can add new images to our application. We can add some icons in which we want to use as our application. And please note, only lowercase letters and underscore with numbers are allowed in the names. So we can actually add new images. We can add an icon, PNG icon, then we can use it on our project. Right, so next we have sound. We can actually add sounds, like a custom sounds we want our application to make. Maybe probably when a notification comes into the application, so we can just click on the fab, then you add your short sound. Moving on, we have fonts. We can actually add custom fonts to our application in which we want our text style to look like. So the extension of font the sketchware supports is actually .ttf font. So if you have a font of .otf extension, then you can also use it, but you have to change some codes and you are good to go. So I'm going to be importing my favorite font from the collection, which is Inter. It's a free font, and Lato. Moving on, we have Java or Kotlin. This is where you can add your Java files, your custom Java files you want to use on your application, or Kotlin files you want to use on your application. So the next we have resources. I'll be explaining more on these resources. We can add animations into the resources. We can add custom drawable files like image or drawable files we can use for UI designs. We can add layouts, we add menu, we can add values. We can literally add files for UI design into this resource manager and some other things. And we can also add or create custom folders or files on the drawable manager and resource manager. So moving on, we have assets. We can add files into these assets. We can add any custom files like load toy animation, SVG icons, videos and audio files that are actually big in size, and lots more, and files you want only to exist in your application. So moving on, we have permission. So literally, if you want to use something that belongs to someone, you need to ask for permission. So it is in Android development or app development. You need a permission to access some part of the user's phone. For example, if you want to use or you want to make users to select images for their profile pictures, or select images from their phones, or select files from their phones. You need a permission to actually do that. So you have to like select the permissions you need here and then add them to your application. So whenever you need it, you just ask the users to grant you the permission and access to their folders and files. So when you need their permission, you check box it like I have done right here. So you can actually add that to your manifest. So moving next, we have app compact. I'll be explaining better on this in the next video. So moving on, we have Android manifest. We can actually have some custom codes if we need to our Android manifest, such as custom permission, launch activity. If you want to change this launch activity is like the entrance to your application. For example, now as set as default by Android, you use your main activities to enter your application, but since we have home page, we can use home page activity to as a entrance to our application through by setting its name to home page. So we can do that to if we have different. So let's just leave it as main. So the next we have custom blocks. I'll be explaining that very soon. Alright, so the next one we have local library. Local library is actually libraries that we can actually get from GitHubs to like make our application more responsive, or just to use it for some specific action on our application. So the next one we have native libraries. I'm going to be explaining that in the next video. So as ProGuard, so as Strange Fork, and we have source code. So source code is actually where your codes are written, where sketchware writes your codes for you. Instead of you writing your code yourself, sketchware writes it for you. Imagine writing codes of 1,000 line of a code that is 10,000 or 1,000 lines like this. Sketchware already wrote it down for you, so all you have to do is just use your drag and drop. That's why I find Sketchware a easy platform for me. So the next we have collection. Collection is like the saved properties you use on your application. We have image, sound, text, widget, we have block, we have more blocks. So I think this brings us to the end of this video. Let's check. We have these are the more blocks I saved, so I won't be recreating them. I just have them, so I won't recreate them all over again. So that brings us to the end of today's class. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.